DNA evidence from a glove found about 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home was submitted to a lab in Florida and then entered into the FBI's CODIS database this morning. Investigators say there were no DNA hits, and at this point, no confirmed CODIS matches in the case. Tonight, we again bring you team coverage on all the latest details just released. News 4 Tucson's Eric Fink is live from PCSD with more on that. We'll have in just a couple of moments, but first, let's get to News 4 Tucson's Monica Garcia with what the DNA test results mean for investigators moving forward. Monica.
Hi there, Sean. So the DNA trail does not just end with the lack of information that the CODIS database has regarding that glove. And I can tell you back out here, investigators only 2 hours ago were seemingly fixated on cameras, like physically mounted on some of the neighbors' houses and looking at those. So it looks like they're going beyond just asking neighbors to submit that footage. It seems to be that they're looking at that camera at some of these houses and possibly taking them with them themselves and doing whatever they're doing as part of that investigation. And we've also learned that investigators have been visiting several restaurants in the area as part of their DNA follow-up. The sheriff says they're not doing that randomly, and there's a specific reason tied to the glove found near the scene. We're going to explain more on that in just a second, but we know at least 4 restaurants in this area have had investigators out there, and this all again is tied to that glove. Now, the sheriff department confirms the glove submitted to CODIS, as you just said, produced no matches, and they say that that doesn't make the evidence any less important. Additional DNA collected from inside the residence is still being analyzed. The sheriff explains, though, why restaurant workers are now being approached specifically.
We found these gloves maybe it's in an alley, maybe it's in the desert, maybe it's right across the street. They look like kitchen gloves. We're going to submit them for DNA. Can we get your kitchen help, whoever it is that would wear these gloves, to voluntarily give us some buccal swabs?
All right, so you heard that. If he's asking if deputies or investigators go into your restaurant, your place of business, he's hoping that people would voluntarily give those buccal swabs. That way, he says he can eliminate you if it's your glove and you're a restaurant worker and you had possibly thrown that glove out the window or whatever he said. So if you do live or you work or you own a business within a 2-mile radius, we are reminding you, deputies are asking you to check your surveillance carefully. That's the call to action we want to keep reminding folks. This is very important, not just for obvious activity, but for anything that could help establish a timeline. Remember, that's a car driving through, someone walking by, a backpack, even a quick clip could help investigators line up those time stamps as they continue to investigate. Again, remember that information, that DNA that they found on the glove, that male person, isn't the only thing that they're looking into. That's what the sheriff tells me when I spoke to him one-on-one. And then a big reminder, obviously, that if you do find something and if you want to submit it and if you're having issues getting through to the FBI, I know we've received a lot of emails and messages saying that. You can always go to our website, KVOA.com. We do have a portal where you can submit it. So we have a link to what he's talking about, making sure that you get that camera directly to the investigators who are looking specifically for that camera from the 2-mile radius. Sean, back to you.